I've served my country and been incarcerated.
Transition is just something different. It affects everybody in a different way. But without a support system, it was just gonna fail.
Individuals with disabilities are kind of looked on having a disability and not being able to do certain things. Because you have a disability, there's no sign that you don't have an ability.
Had I not received the help that I did, there would be no story to talk about because I would be dead.
Are you gonna be a good boy today? When you're homeless and you're living in a vehicle, the hardest thing to deal with is the humiliation.
It's really dark when you out there, and, you're by yourself. There's no backup coming. It's just you.
I'm your mother, and I'm supposed to be able to provide or take care of you. I'm supposed to be the backbone of the household. All the things that I'm supposed to be, I'm not able to do. When your baby is saying they're hungry and you have no way of getting them anything, you have no way of providing, you feel like a failure.
Transition into civilian life is not as easy as I thought it would be. I'm a Marine veteran, 10 plus years.
The difference with his PTSD, when he came home, it was more of nightmares, just being really withdrawn.
When a whole lot of the doors were being shut in our faces, this is from family alike, we had to just hunker down and get into it. Now, it was us and our children in a four-door Ford Taurus. A lot of times we stayed in the Walmart parking lot.
A typical day when we were living in our car would be get up early in the morning, take them somewhere where they can freshen up some, drive them to school. After I drop all the children off, I'm comforted a little bit because at school at least you'll get a meal. And that's just how it was.
When we got to the VOA, I mean, the people that we dealing with, there was nobody robotic. It wasn't assembly line like you see a lot of the other programs that you go to.
They didn't just throw some papers to us and say, here, fill this out. When you're done, bring it back up here. They actually sat down and discussed what was going on with us. The attributes we received from VOA was the housing. They also provided my children's first Christmas. They also provided my children's school supplies.
Opening that door and watching your children run through that house, and picking their rooms and everybody's, hugging and crying. And that's when you can actually take that sigh of relief and say that, all right, now we have a base, let's build from this.
It was a roof, it have doors, I have heat, water. Oh, didn't have no beds in here, I didn't care. Oh, they got carpet, we could sleep on this beautiful green carpet, Lord. I was ecstatic. The children were ecstatic. And my 7-year-old had said, so we don't have to go anywhere else. That solidified it for us. No, baby, we are home. That killed it for us. That was it.
I enlisted as a mechanic. From there, I went to Korea for a year, was a track vehicle mechanic there. Later went to Iraq and did a tour there. I got home and was trying to transition back into the civilian sector, and I got to see my kids, so it was great. Just a normal cavity. The doctor wanted to pull it out. Here, you're gonna need these for the pain, and up to that point, having all the signs and symptoms of PTSD. Sleep's hard to come by, and when it is, it's usually abruptly interrupted. When I found the medication, it just made life normal again. It was like the miracle is what I thought. Once that took hold, it was downhill from there. I didn't have the willpower to do it on my own. The day I was incarcerated was life-changing. As soon as that cop put the cuffs on me, I knew that narcotics was over with. I went from incarceration. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my own home. You're looking for a way out. You know you're in a very volatile, vulnerable state. You just need that little help, that little bit. That's what VOA was able to provide. They helped me establish an environment that was conducive to recovery and well-being.
Are you sure you want to braid? Or do you want me to pull it back and braid it in a ponytail?
Pull it back and braid it.
If you would have asked me whenever I was in high school, what do you want to be when you grow up? It definitely wouldn't have been alcoholic. My freshman year of college, my parents divorced. My 3 best friends were killed in a car accident. And my very first love broke my heart, and all within a 2-week period. I just didn't have the coping skills to deal. I drank in college, then I became a weekend warrior, and then it was 5 days a week, and eventually I was introduced to other substances. It wasn't that I went and sought out hardcore drugs or anything like that. You know, it was prescription. I thought that I was following medical advice. I had no idea what it would turn into. And once I had crossed that line, there was no coming back. I love you. What does Mama say?
Be a leader.
Be a leader. I love you guys.
We were in court together, and her family had come to see me asking for help. And she said that was the first time she'd really been held accountable for her actions.
Love you, honey. Be careful. You all have a good day. You know, Freedom House and the staff at Freedom House, they kept their ethical boundaries, but they were honestly still like family to me. You know, they believed in me. They told me that I was enough. They told me that I was worthy of a different life. They told me that I was a good mother, that I had made some poor choices, but that I didn't have to let that define who I was in my future.
A program like Volunteers of America, I believe, with their long-term program, they just give people hope by giving them an outlet, giving them a place to go, and a place like that just shows people how to actually recover, and it's a lifetime commitment.
I knew deep down inside of me that I was meant for so much more. The one thing that I love so much about this program is the fact that they pushed me to prepare and plan ahead for my transition back into life. We see that being a place where some people fail. They do well in treatment, but whenever they get back into life, it seems like they just can't manage and they go back to the same old lifestyle. And I feel like Volunteers of America prepared me for that transition.
Well, we didn't have much support at that point in time like we do now. Matter of fact, when they said he had Down syndrome, we didn't know even what that was. We said, Mark, we don't know what to do, but go out and do everything your brothers do. He did the good and the bad, right?
That's right.
Mark's very positive. He thinks he can do everything. If somebody told you can't do it, what would you say?
Ow. Now go forward.
You have to give individuals a chance to learn and to learn by doing. And that's what we try to do with Mark.
Once you turn it on, we'll cook it and boil it, okay? So go ahead and get the measuring cup out.
He's lived on his own since he was 24. He pays his own bills, does his own shopping, and pretty much independent. But even at that, there's always a need to have some type of support. And Volunteers of America has been absolutely terrific with that. Especially the support person that we're dealing with now, Greg Smith. Greg and Mark are the same age, actually. There's only so much we can teach them now. Like anybody else, you continue to grow based on the experiences you have.
Hey, guy, what's up, dude?
You doing good?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Come on, I want you to show them how you play drums.
As parents, it really helps us because we know that Mark is truly being introduced to the community in ways that neither my wife nor I could.